Hello, thanks for stopping by YOUR Bourbon Journey. So tonight, I'm coming back to the table here with a video to talk about changing something up from something you don't like to try to make it better. On a previous episode, you recall that I gave you my impressions of Jeffersons Ocean Aged at Sea straight bourbon whiskey, very small batch. Okay, and this is a weeded mash bill, Voyage 25. Okay, and when I tasted this, I told you the honest truth, didn't care for it. I felt like it didn't get aged enough. I thought that perhaps the aging at sea was more gimmicky than effective, in my own personal opinion. But I hadn't given up on it. You'll notice that I still have that same amount missing from the bottle, that one tasting pour that I showed you. The other thing you'll notice, if you look close enough here, inside the bottom, that's a charred oak spire. Okay? You can pick those up at some local retailers. I think I paid about $5.99 for this one, maybe. It wasn't very expensive, but the concept behind the charred oak spire is to help produce a variable in the flavor from what it originally was by giving some additional oak, charred oak in particular, for the liquid to interact with. Okay? Maybe a few more tannins can be pulled from that oak spire that weren't present in the original juice. Okay? This is my very first attempt at this. I disliked this so much, even though it wasn't a cheap bottle. I disliked it so much I couldn't bear the thought of drain pouring it without at least trying the charred oak spire first. Now the packaging for that says that it reaches its maximum input to the fluid. I don't remember exactly how it's worded, but it does the most job it can do and is pretty much over with by 2 weeks in the bottle. I don't think it gained anything by sitting this much longer than 2 weeks, but it serves its purpose to be in the bottle. So I kind of forgot about it, but I'm bringing it to you tonight. So let's see if my opinions have changed any now that I have made an attempt to improve it using the addition of a charred oak spire. All right, I'm going to let that get a little breath in it. Those of you that are curious about an update, surgery went well. Things are back to working 85% of the way they were before. And hopefully my surgeon gives me the thumbs up to go ahead back to full duty at work here next week. We'll have to see what he has to say. But again, we're going to give this a shot and see what I think of this after the charred oak spire has done all it can do to save it. Here's mud in your eye. I don't really notice that the nose has changed at all. It still has that sweet wheat nose with the oak and maybe a hint of vanilla. I'm almost picking up a spiciness of some kind. I don't remember that being there before. It's real faint, but there is a little bit of a difference there after all. Let's see what the palate says. Wow. It's better. It's not aged an additional 2 years in a barrel in an excellent level of an excellent rick house in Kentucky better. But it's better. Some of that ethanol-y bite that was in it before, again, it's a young bourbon. Some of that bite is now a lot less severe. I hesitate to use the word, but I think it fits, that it's actually a little bit smoother now. I'm getting the grains. I'm getting the sweet taste with the corn. But it's more like a it's more like that corn that you can get in a restaurant that maybe has some peppers mixed in with it. It's got a little bit of a kick, a sweet with a kick. And then the sweet wheat is very prominent in the middle. There's just a hint of oak. It's not really much oak in the palate. But I'm astonished at how much less bite it has. It's a 90 proof offering, but that Spire seems to have killed all of the ethanol bite that I originally thought this had. And that lets some of those flavors come through a little bit better than they did the first time around. Not too shabby. You know, what comes to mind about this experiment is a rather famous line from a rather famous movie called The Waterboy, in which the Louisiana assistant coach describes the previous loss as, well, they'll fight another day. This bottle will live to fight another day. I no longer feel like it's necessary to do a drain pour video on this. Thank goodness, because it weren't cheap. And now it's time for the bonus round. Oh yeah. You ain't never seen this before on Flea's Bourbon Journey. Bonus round. Surprise bonus round. Fresh crack first try of Tennessee Legend smoked apple flavored whiskey. This is bottled by Crystal Falls Spirits in Sevierville, Tennessee. 30% alcohol by volume, 60 proof. Now the reason I'm trying this is one of them my wife brought back with her from her vacation. Yep, she was thinking of me even on her own vacation. And I'll tell you what, I'm not big on flavored whiskeys. I've kind of got my palate evolving to the straight bourbons and straight wheats. But you know what? She thought enough of me to think to buy this for me on her vacation. Whoo! I can tell you already, the apple smell is very pungent even before I get it near my nose. They've gone overboard on the green apple smell. It smells like a green apple Jolly Rancher. And that's all I can smell in it. But you know what? I'm a fan of green apple Jolly Ranchers. You know what? Maybe we'll let Charlie in on this one. Come here, bud. You want to taste? Come here. Up. You want to taste? You want to try? You don't want to try it? You do. More? Okay, so Charlie's not a fan. But then again, he's kind of a fan of the same thing I am. I'm sure he would love that one. Franken bourbon time. This might be the only channel on YouTube where you will see Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea Voyage 25 wheated mash bill with the added charred oak spire blended with the Tennessee Legend small batch smoked apple flavored whiskey. You saw it here first, folks. Okay, so they're good together. This being a wheated, it's got sweets. This tastes like it's got lots of sugar added. Doesn't specifically say that, but I'm guessing there's a lot of sugar in there because it is syrupy sweet. Yep, I would say I like it better than this by itself, but I like this by itself better than the blend. I think this will make a good blend for some other things, though. Maybe the smoked apple combined with my salted caramel whiskey. Make a caramel covered apple kind of thing. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's stop there for tonight. Guys, thanks for stopping by Flea's Bourbon Journey. I hope that you enjoy your bourbon journey. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button. If you want to see what I do next, subscribe and make sure you share it if you know someone else who might benefit from it. As I always tell you, you never know what you might see on the next episode. Who knows, maybe even Biker Flea will make his return on the next episode. You don't know. I'm a wild and crazy guy! Stay safe.